And good evening from Homewood Field here in Baltimore, Maryland, on the campus of Johns Hopkins University. We are just moments away from getting the fifth game of the season underway for your Johns Hopkins men's soccer team, who have come out to a roaring start here in the 2017 fall campaign, having won 4 consecutive games to open up the season. They will face the visiting York College Spartans, who both teams have really gotten to know each other over the years. Hopkins has owned the Spartans over the 10-plus year of the two programs meeting each other. Hopkins leads the all-time series 27-4. And last year, as the Jays took down the Spartans by a score of 2-0, that was the largest margin of victory since 1999. So, as of late, in the last 15 or so years, it's been very tight between these two. So expect a tightly contested 90 minutes of soccer here at Johns Hopkins. Starting in the goal for the Blue Jays is Brian C. And Brian's put together quite a career. 5'10" senior from Malaysia. 17 career shutouts. That leads the Centennial Conference. And 162 saves. That's good for second in the conference. On the other side of the field, in the net for the visiting Spartans is number 1, Billy Bridgham. 5'11" freshman from Silver Spring, Maryland. So the freshman and senior battling it out tonight. But getting it started for the Jays up top is R.J. Moore, the 5'11" midi. The freshman from Vienna, Virginia, gets things started for the Jays, and we are underway here at Homewood Field. Well, the Jays really have been clicking on all cylinders here to start out the 2017 season, picking up a win at Plattsburgh State on Sunday by a score of 2-0. Goals came from Yonker and McLean. And Akim Yonker, man, he is the story of the Jays' first 4 games. He leads the conference in points, and he's coming off the Offensive Player of the Week award. So Yonker is really off to an aggressive start for the Jays. And if you're head coach Craig Appleby, you got to love to see that from your sophomore, who's really just getting his career started here. Didn't get a whole lot of playing time last year, but he's off to a great start for the Jays. As for the Spartans, they come into this game having lost its last game, and they played against Gettysburg on Sunday as well, and that was a little bit more lopsided. They were defeated 4-0 in that game, and we know Gettysburg is a Division III powerhouse. Their last win came on the 3rd, and that was at Catholic. They put up 5 goals, so they can score the ball, but have not in a few weeks. So tonight they'll be looking to get back on the board here at the Jays, but they'll have a tough task with Brian C., one of the best goalkeepers in the whole conference. I'm sure he'll have something to say about that tonight. The Spartans' weapons, they come in with a few as well to combat the success that Yonkers had. They have a freshman who's leading in the points category, and that's Zion Friday, 6'5", 210 from Bethesda, Maryland. So quite a force out there. And then each coming in with 4 points on the season is Adisu and Hobbs. So they're a very young team, with Friday being the leader in points as a freshman. Brian C. is going to take the first goal kick of the game, and it's a short one to Chase Burciaga, the 5'10" freshman, part of Coach Appleby's young and versatile lineup. Well, the first meeting between these two, you have to go all the way back to 1981 as the Jays rolled on to win 3-1. As Ben Bay is down there trying to gain possession now for the Jays. And now Jonah Muniz mixing things up. Drew Collins with it as well, the 5'11 senior from Franklin, Tennessee. A great save there by Ben Bay, and this one's going to be lifted up and out of bounds. Just the opening moments here at Homewood Field on a humid night. Last time we were here at Homewood was for the women's soccer game last week, and boy, was it a chilly one. All the girls huddling on the sidelines. We'll get you scores throughout the night as the Jays women's soccer are in action tonight as well. They are at TCNJ, and that's a 7:30 kickoff, so certainly get you updates throughout the night. Of course, Johns Hopkins football is in action this Saturday as well, so a lot going on this weekend if you're a fan of Johns Hopkins athletics. Now here comes Cole Rosenberger, one of the captains here for the Jays. 6-foot junior from Indiana, Pennsylvania. Back and forth we go here. Both teams still feeling each other out here in the opening minutes of the first half. And now this one's going to be kicked back to Bridgham. Billy, a 5'11 freshman from Silver Spring, Maryland. Played his high school soccer at James Hubert Blake. And now Brian C. working with Burciaga. Finds Rosenberger. And now Cole's going to cross this one and reset things on the Jays attack. Mike Suarez, he had a pretty solid weekend as well up in upstate New York. He and Yonker were named co-MVP. And now here comes the goal kick from Bridgham. And Billy fires this one on down past midfield. That was Joel Teston getting a body on that ball. 6-foot senior from Manassas, Virginia. Back to Billy. Mixing it up there for the Jays was Alejandro McLean. He's coming off a goal on Sunday's game. Another one of Coach Appleby's freshmen contributing from Riverside, Connecticut. Played his high school soccer at Greenwich. And that one's going to sneak out of bounds. Last touch by the Spartans. Brian C. will handle it inside his box. Finds Cole Rosenberger now. Well, the York College slogan on the back of their jerseys is "Be the Standard." And in some of my pregame research, I found that that not only means on the field, but off the field as well. As this one's fired in and through the uprights, but this ain't football, but that was an absolute bullet off the right-hand foot of McLean. So he's picking things up right where he left off up in Plattsburgh. You see McLean's information there. 5'8 freshman from Riverside, Connecticut. Nice defensive play there by Connor Jacobs, the 5'9" sophomore from Knoxville, Tennessee. And this one's going to go back to Suarez. And coming up for it is Friday. You see just how big Zion is. Freshman should have a great career up in Pennsylvania. And now Cole Rosenberger with all kinds of time. He's being tracked down by number 10, Keith Witherall. Keith is one of 7. 7 siblings, and they're all adopted. Pretty incredible story there from Keith. Transferred over from VCU. Said he wasn't getting enough playing time at VCU, and through club teams, one of his coaches had a connection at York, Pennsylvania. He went up and visited, absolutely loved it, and here he is playing underneath the lights in Baltimore in a very early season game, but meaningful in a long season with momentum and all sorts of other factors. Keith only stands 5'5", but that might be a little generous. But boy, can he move. Trying to track down Jacobs. And now R.J. Moore is going to leak this one on down. He's looking for Yonker, but picked up nicely there by Ben Moken. And now Jacobs is looking to spread the field. And that one is deflected off the foot of R.J. Moore. That'll earn a Jays corner. And running over there to take that is R.J. Moore. 5'11" freshman from Vienna, Virginia. Played his high school soccer at Gonzaga. Gonzaga, such an athletic school. A lot of big names have come out of Gonzaga over the years, including Chris Jenkins, who they call him Mr. Big Shot at Gonzaga for the game winner a couple years ago in the national championship. Just 10.5 into this first half. And the Jays can't get anything going on offense just yet, but a nice defensive play there by R.J. Moore. Little two-man game now. R.J. Moore at the top of his offense, lost that one, and now Rosenberger's trying to track it down. Being pressed heavily. Yonker, that footwork, we talk about it all the time. Yonker's footwork, along with his speed, are really two things that he excels in just as a sophomore. And now Bridgham's going to fire this one on down, and it was intended for Joel Teston, 6-foot senior from Manassas, Virginia. And that one scooted out of bounds, last touch by the Jays. Well, be sure to get involved on Twitter here tonight if you're listening up in Pennsylvania or right here in Baltimore. And let me know your predictions on how you think tonight's game will turn out. You can tweet at me at Bob Trossett, B-O-B-T as in Tom, R-O-S-S-E-T. And this throw-in is going to be handled by Ben Moken, the 6-foot senior from Sinking Spring, Pennsylvania. Played his high school soccer at Wilson. And now this one is not to be denied by Brian C. The diving stop to his left and makes his first save of the game. Dangerous chance there, though, for the Jays. Those 50-50 balls sometimes can be very unpredictable inside the box, but Brian C. stayed home and stayed loyal to that one. We're scoreless here at Homewood Field. Bob Trossett with you on HopTV. Thanks for being with us tonight on a humid Wednesday after a very bizarre and chilly start. And now here comes Zion Friday, and he buries it. Well, you're seeing exactly what was in the scouting report. Zion Friday had a little bit of daylight there and just snuck it on the right-hand side of the net, right past a diving Brian C., and that thing was rifled off the right-hand foot of Friday. You taking a look at the replay here. Jays got caught sleeping on defense, and he just made him pay for it, and that was a bullet off of Friday's leg.
Scored by number 8, Zion Friday, assisted by number 11, Ben Motion. Time of the goal, 12 minutes, 52 seconds.
So Zion gets things started for the Spartans and shows you just how lethal he is on offense. And that ball is misplayed by Rosenberger, but he makes it up and now sneaks down ahead to McLean. But back into possession it goes towards the Spartans. Well, 1-0 here, and if you're just tuning in, you just missed a rifle off the right-hand foot of Zion Friday. He leads the team in points. And that one was an absolute rifle from the Jays, but Bridgham got away with one there. You take another look at the replay here. Just a little bit far and wide. But a nice try from the Jays. A lot of offense here so far from both teams. Both getting good opportunities. It should be an absolute shootout here tonight if these conditions continue to be like this. The ball's flying here tonight with a little bit of humidity, and now Ben Bay is rifling down and sneaks that one out of bounds. Good sportsmanship shown between Bay and Mosquera over there. 5'8" junior from Woodbridge, Virginia is Tony. And now another dangerous chance there, and this time Friday is offsides. And now the Jays working quickly, trying to take advantage of that penalty. Well, that could have been dangerous and ugly for the Jays over there with Friday having a lot of daylight. Luckily for Hopkins, he was called offside, and now the Jays look to set something up with Cole Rosenberger at the top of their offense. And a misplay, miscommunication there between Yonker and Rosenberger, and now Bridgham's going to pick that one up and choose where to go with that one. And this one is a skying ball, and Friday, what a surprise, gets ahead on that one. When you're 6'5", got to figure it's relatively easy to find balls amongst the crowd. 6'5", yeah, I'd imagine that the York College basketball team could use a 6'5" Zion Friday to their advantage down low. And now the Jays working with it here on the near side of your screen. And now here comes Friday, so dangerous in the open field. Sneaks this one up ahead to Keith. And now Keith Witherall is going to let that one sneak out of bounds. Last touch by the Spartans. And Keith didn't like that call there. And coach did not like that call either for the Spartans. It's Coach Evan Sheffy in his third season at the helm. He's a 2009 graduate of York. And now Keith's going to get his left foot on this one and get picked up by the Jays rather quickly. And that one's going to go up and out of bounds. Last touch by the Spartans. 1-0 in favor of the visiting York College Spartans. Thanks to an absolute rifle just a few moments ago by Zion Friday, sneaking it past Brian C. And for the Jays and Brian C., that's the first goal that they've allowed all season, and it comes in the 5th game. And here comes Friday now. Picked up by Burciaga, but he's so quick. And here comes Friday, and getting a defensive foot on that was Burciaga and saving another goal. Friday is so dangerous in the open field. Well, Burciaga was not happy with his defense there. Did not think that they got back quick enough. And that might have been the case there. A little bit of miscommunication on how to handle Friday, as he is a major, major threat. And back come the Spartans. And now Friday with it again is going to tap it over to Moken. And now that one gets away from Chris Hobbs, but he's going to sneak it on down to Bridgham, who's way out of the box. And a misplayed ball there by Connor Jacobs. And now back on the Spartans. Dealing with it is Cristobal Corvillin. Now the Spartans spreading the field nicely, but a nice defensive play there by Suarez to stop the momentum for the Jays. And the throwing coming from the Spartans over there is Tony Mosquera, 5'8" junior. Well, here we are in the 19th minute here at Homewood Field. Thanks for being with us tonight. Bob Trossett with you on HopTV as we have a whistle going the other way towards the Jays. Rosenberger is going to sneak this one on down to Connor Jacobs with all kinds of time. Finds McLean in stride, and now McLean is looking for Yonker, who's running this one down before it gets out of bounds. He gets to it, and now out come Yonker with the footwork off to his right. And a nice defensive play there to get it out of harm's way by Ethan Lloyd. First time we've mentioned the freshman's name tonight. 5'8", 166 pounds from Fairfax, Virginia. Plays high school soccer at Flint. And this one's going to be fired into the box. And now Keith's going to handle it and rocket it on down the field. But Burciaga now coming up with it to intercept that pass. And he's going to find Muniz on the far side. Suarez inside midfield line. Working with Muniz now on the top of your screen. 1-0 York over the Jays as you take another look at Yonker. Headed off to his right, and just a tough pass intercepted by Witherall there. And now Suarez is going to rifle this one on down. It was intended for Connor Jacobs, but it went up and out of bounds, and last touch by the Jays. First sub of the game tonight, and it's going to be coming for the visiting Spartans. Back into this game is Danny Morgan for the first time. 5'8" freshman from Lumberton, New Jersey.
Now in for York, number 12, Danny Morgan.
Danny, another part of this strong freshman class for York. Getting some early minutes here for Coach Sheffy. And now Muniz and Suarez trying to set something up for the Jays and get on the board here. Rosenberger spreading the field. It's going to go back to Brian C. and pull this thing out. Try and get something started. 22nd minute. York up a goal on the Jays here early on in the first half. And now nice play there by Rosenberger to get a foot on it. Rosenberger's going to pull it out. Swing it on back to Jacobs. And now Friday getting a foot on that and disrupting the Jays offense. So Friday causing all sorts of matchup problems here tonight. And here comes a nice ball, and that's going to be offsides by Friday. And for the Jays, boy, are they lucky on that one, because Friday on the breakaway is a scary sight. 6'5", 210 pounds coming flying at you. So Burciaga is set to take the free kick. And losing his shin guard was Rosenberger, so he's getting all set back up, and we are back in. Suarez now on the far side. Set to check in for the Jays is Arden Chu, 6'1" junior from Bellevue, Washington. And a nice ball there for Ben Bay. And now Ben Bay is putting a little move on at the top of your screen. He's picked up by a couple Spartans defenders. And now Muniz fired that one in. And the official, with a tough call there for the Jays. That is a no goal. Muniz thought it was in the net, and it was. But the official waved it off, and we have resumed play. Coach Appleby not happy. So a tough call there for the Jays, who were just seconds away from tying things up. Looked like he called offsides on the Jays down there. Halfway through the 24th minute here in the first half, 1-0 in favor of York College. And now the throw-in will be handled by the Spartans. And that's Tony Mosquera. Hobbs with it now working to his left. He's going to fire this one up and wide and out of bounds. And now Chu's set to check in. He's going to give McLean a little bit of a rest here, coming off a goal at Plattsburgh State. And now Brian C. Going to lift this one on down. It's intended for Connor Jacobs, who's dribbling with it now in the middle of your screen. Jacobs back to Rosenberger. So the Jays have responded nicely to that opening half goal off the foot of Friday. They're getting good opportunities on offense. A tough play there on the offsides call just a few moments ago. But nonetheless, the opportunities are continuing to come for the Jays. They're being patient. And now Suarez on the far side of the field's going to look to enter this one in. Friday with a touch pass. Off to Ben Moken, and now here come the Spartans. Ben Bay hits the deck, and we'll have a whistle right at the 40-yard line. Ben Bay still down, slow to get up on one knee. To take another look at the replay here. Ben Bay coming out of nowhere. Both guys hit the deck, and the officials are waving for the Johns Hopkins training staff as Ben Bay remains down. Still down is Ben Bay, and a great sign of sportsmanship here with a few Spartan players hanging out to make sure that Ben's all right. Well, if you're just tuning in, Zion Friday got things started for the Spartans on a breakaway opportunity and snuck one pass and really rifled it past Brian C. in the 13th minute. And that was the first goal given up by the Blue Jays since October 15th, 2016. And that's 8 games without a goal. So quite a streak that ended the night for the Jays. But when one streak ends, another one begins. But let's make sure that Ben Bay's all right as he's walking off on his own power, but definitely favoring that left leg, it looks like. He's got his left hand on the hip area, and a nice sign of sportsmanship now from Tony Mosquera, making sure Ben's all right. In the 26th minute, Ben Bay will take a seat. And coming into the game for the Jays to replace Ben is Pablo Martinez, 5'10" freshman from Darien, Connecticut. So we'll certainly keep our eyes for you on Ben Bay. Make sure everything's all right. And he's really favoring that left thigh hip area, and he's going to get on the training deck. So we'll be sure to keep you updated. But back underway we go here at Homewood. York over Johns Hopkins. Advantage right now, 1-0. And here comes the kick being entered in. Getting ahead on that was Cole Rosenberger. Now Brian C. is going to leap up and get that one. Bobbled it for a second. And now ripping it on down the field was the Jays. But back into possession goes that soccer ball to the Spartans. Well, it's 7:30, so women's soccer are about to kick off. And they are away tonight at TCNJ. A top 10 matchup in Division III. Number 9 Hopkins takes on number 5 TCNJ. So we'll be sure to give you updates as they come in for the Jays. Still 1-0 here in favor of the York College Spartans, thanks to Zion Friday, who banged one past Brian C. And now Yonkers chasing this one down. He is so quick. Mark Murgo didn't even see him behind him. He was so quick. And now a foul. This one will go toward the Jays. 3 shots so far for York. 5 for the Jays, so they're getting the opportunities. Just have to capitalize here. Now R.J. Moore is going to take this free kick for the Jays. He's going to fire this one on in, and getting a left hand on it at the last possible second was Bridgham. A nice save there for the Spartans. And a small army set to check in for the Spartans right now. Dan Bechtel, Oscar Rodriguez, Barack Amage, and Jordan Evans all set to check in for the Spartans now. As this one's going to be entered in. And now Zion Friday, and this is where he's so dangerous. He's going to enter this one on down. Is chasing it down is Danny Morgan. Now Morgan back to Friday. And a nice defensive play there from the Jays. That was Arden Chu getting a foot on it and stopping momentum just momentarily. Here come the Jays now. Pushing with it is Connor Jacobs. Off to his left. And a nice play to sneak that one out of bounds by Men Moken. So here come an array of substitutions now. And the only J player to come in is Garrett Church, 5'6" junior. So here comes the corner. And Garrett Church just into this game is going to handle it. And he's going to fire this one on down into the box, but getting a nice foot on it there was number 17, Mark Murgo. But again, it's entered in the box, and now a nice opportunity there from Yonker, but he fires it high. And now set the check into this game for the Jays is number 15, Jonathan Brown, 5'10 freshman from Canandaigua, New York.
Now waiting for Johns Hopkins, number 15, Jonathan Brown.
Brown's going to give Yonker a rest, who just fired high on another strike. Boy, when he gets a foot on it, you just never know where it's going to go. You know it's going to come in hot. But as a goalkeeper, you have quite the task when Yonker's shooting at you. And now Friday with a touch pass, and here come the Spartans. Nice defensive play there to make it up was from Burciaga. And that one's going to be last touch by the Jays, so a corner kick coming for the Spartans. They lead 1-0 here in the 31st minute. Taking the corner for the Spartans is Tony Mosquera, 5'8 junior from Woodbridge, Virginia. Couple of Hopkins guys warming up on the sidelines, and here comes the low corner. That was a missed kick out of bounds. Brian C. is going to take the goal kick. Well, Ben Bay is having his left foot elevated. He's got ice on the ankle area. So we'll keep you updated on what goes down with Ben Bay on the sidelines right now. But he has his left foot up, and it's being iced at the moment. 7 shots on goal now for the Jays. Only 3 for the Spartans, but they've found the back of the net on one of them, and here come the Jays. Three more Spartans set to check in for York. And now Suarez is chasing the Spartans in a nice defensive play there from Muniz. And now Muniz is going to leak this one up ahead. A great ball. Chasing that one down is Jonathan Brown before it goes out of bounds. And he gets lifted up onto the air. Last touch by the Spartans and Oscar Rodriguez. And a missed kick. But Jacobs finds a way to keep it in. And now Jonathan Brown loses that one, and it's fired on down the field to Burciaga. Jiki, along with Kenny Christ and Michael Eunice, all set to check in for the Spartans here in the 33rd minute. 1-0 in favor of York, and that one is headed out of bounds by Mark Murgo, and the Jays earn a corner kick. Here comes the corner kick, and it's a short one to Drew Collins, and he fired it at the net. But Bridgham with a beautiful stop, and now this one's fired wide. And here come the substitutions for the Spartans. So Friday's going to get his first rest, as well as Hobbs. And Bridgham's going to fire this one on down to the midfield line. Getting ahead on that for the Jays was Arden Chu. And now physical play starting to ramp up here. Burciaga is going to fire this one on the top of your screen. That's Suarez saving it before it went out of bounds. Suarez coming off a co-MVP honors with Akim Yonker up in Plattsburgh as they took down State 2-0. Well, if you're just tuning in, Zion Friday in the 13th minute snuck one past Brian C. That was the first time this season the Jays have allowed a goal. And technically, if you really want to get technical, it's the first goal allowed by the Jays since October 15th, 2016. That's an 8-game stretch. And now Cole Rosenberger calling for where he wants it. In the middle of the offense now with Drew Collins, and now Collins going to sneak it off to Brown, back to Rosenberger, who saves it before it goes out of bounds. Rosenberger, a little bit of touch pass, missed kick, and now here come the Spartans. And now Brian C. leaving the box, retreats heavily, and now Cole finds him in stride. And now back to Burciaga. Well, Ben Bay not looking good for the rest of the game right now. He's got his left foot elevated, and he's on the bench, icing it. Looks like the ankle area. So we'll get you updates on Ben Bay to see if he's going to lace back up and get back out there. '36th minute here at Homewood Field. Bob Trossett with you on HopTV. 1-0 in favor of York, as there's a tough play for the Spartans, and holding on to that knee area is Barack Amagay, but he gets right up as he's taking another look at the replay right here. Amagay just came up on that ball and got rifled. Luckily, he's all right. We don't need two guys going down here early on in the first half. 1-0 in favor of York over the Jays, and Muniz getting ahead on that one. Still scoreless at TCNJ as Hopkins women's soccer trying to take down the number 5 team in the country. Eight shots on goal now for the Jays. They're getting opportunities, but all it's taken is 3 shots for the Spartans to find the back of the net once. And now here they come. Brian C. leaving the goal. And a very much needed call there for the Jays, as Brian C. was way outside the box and an offsides was called. Number 16, Dan Bechtel. 6-foot junior from Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Had a wide open net there, and Brian C. took a chance and left the box, and it paid off. 38th minute. Suarez coming up heavily there on Michael Eunice. And now spacing it out are the Spartans. Oscar Rodriguez fires this one in, and now a 50-50 ball. And now Suarez gets a foot on that one, last touched by the Spartans. Substitutions incoming for both teams. For the Spartans, it's number 29, Daniel Jurasek.
Now waiting for Johns Hopkins, number 10, Max Song.
Max Song for the Jays. And Matthew McFarquhar.
Now waiting for York, number 29, Daniel Jurasek.
Pablo Martinez will take a seat for the Jays. Along with Drew Collins. Ben Bay still elevating that foot on the bench. And seems to be in a little bit of discomfort. We'll keep you updated on his status. And now Jonathan Brown streaking on down the top of your screen. And that one's the last touch by the Jays. So the Spartans working quickly here as we approach the 40th minute. As you take another look at the run here that Jonathan Brown made. Last touched by the Jays, but they have it back now, and setting it up at the top of his offense is Mike Suarez. Suarez enters this one in and getting a head on it there, but not enough was Garrett Church. Another substitution incoming for the Spartans. That's number 18, Sam Johnson, 5'11 sophomore from East Berlin, Pennsylvania.
Number 18, Sam Johnson.
It's going to give Michael Eunice a breath of fresh air. And now Bridgham's going to fire this one on down towards midfield. And getting a foot on it there was Max Song, 5'10 junior. Suarez with it at the top of your screen. Back to Brian C. Nine shots on goal now for the Jays. Only 3 for the Spartans. And that is how this game has gone. Zion Friday in the 13th minute was able to find the back of the net. And that's all it's taken so far through almost one half of soccer. Now Rosenberger looking to get something started now for the Jays. Suarez at the top of your screen. And now Burciaga with it over to Suarez at the top of your screen now with a little bit of a run. Last touch there by the Spartans. Throw-in's going to be handled by Jonathan Brown, who's going to now gives it off to Muniz. And Jonah finds Chu. Substitution set to come in for the Spartans. That's number 13, Pat Harkinson. So both teams diving into their benches. Jays smothered up the Spartans there defensively. And we will have a whistle. It's going to be in favor of the Jays. And a free kick incoming. And taking it for the Jays is Garrett Church from the 25. So big opportunity here in the last couple minutes of the first half. Church fires this one on. And a 50-50 ball is won by Max Song, but now it's streaking on out. And here come the Spartans. Good play to make up momentum there from Jonah Muniz and getting out of harm's way in the 43rd minute. 1-0 in favor of York. You're listening to Bob Trossin on HopTV. You're in the 5th game of the season for your Blue Jays in Baltimore, Maryland, on the campus of Johns Hopkins University. Now Rosenberger intercepts this one. And now Max Song looking to get things going. Just over a minute left in this first half. And that one's going to be out of bounds. Trying to save it there was Connor Jacobs. And now a substitution incoming for the Spartans. It's Pat Harkinson, the 5'8 freshman from Riverside, New Jersey, plays high school soccer at Holy Cross Academy. And you can see just how deep and just how much depth this York team has. Coach Jeffy really likes to mix it up, and now here comes Jacobs. 35 seconds left. And there'll be a whistle in favor of the Spartans right at midfield. As you take another look at the replay there. Just a little too aggressive there from the Jays. That was McFarquhar. And the waning seconds here in the first half come to a close as Brian C. going to get up and get that one and hold on to it as the whistle sounds here at the end of the first half. Your Johns Hopkins Blue Jays trail the visiting York College Spartans by a score of 1-0 thanks to Zion Friday crushing one past Brian C. in the 13th minute and ending quite a defensive streak that the Jays had been going all the way since last October. We're going to step aside here at Homewood Field. You're listening to Bob Trossett on HopTV. And welcome back into Homewood Field. Here we're ready to get things going here in the second half. Bob Trossett with you on HopTV. It's 1-0 in favor of the York College Spartans. And I just talked with the goalkeepers coach for the Jays by the name of William Vanzella, and he gave me some good talking points for the second half in terms of what the Jays can do better to get back in this game, and it starts with the forwards spacing out more. William showed me a few replays from that first half, and there was a lot of jumbled up play, and so if the forwards can space it out a little bit, Coach Vanzella thinks that more opportunities will come for the Jays. And he also expressed his frustration for a couple of those first half calls, especially the offsides that was called on Akeem Yonker late in that first half that would have been a goal and would have tied things up for the Jays, but instead, thanks to Zion Friday, York leads 1-0 here in the opening minutes of the second half. So we've switched sides, and now Jonathan Brown is down on the top of your screen, shaking things up, and it's going to be last touched by the Spartans. And running down to take that corner kick is R.J. Moore. First half statistics, 9 shots on goal for the Jays, 4 for the Spartans. Just 1 corner kick for York, 5 for Johns Hopkins, and here comes the corner. Trying to get ahead on that was Yonker. It's going to be last touched by the Spartans, so another opportunity stays right here with the Jays, just the opposite side. And now RJ will run down to the other side and take this for the Jays. Zion in the 12th minute scored, and the assist was from Ben Moken. That's all it's taken so far. But the Jays opening up the half here with production on their offensive side, and that one's going to be fired up and out of bounds into the stands. And the throw-in will be taken by Muniz. And Muniz chasing this one down. Well, wherever you're watching us from, whether it be in Baltimore, whether it be in Virginia, as that one is a dive and a stop by Bridgham. More production going on for the Jays. Solid start offensively for Hopkins. Nothing doing just yet, though. Well, wherever you're watching us from on HopTV, be sure to get on Twitter and let me know what's the one thing that Hopkins needs to do to get back into this game. You can tweet it at me at Bob Trossett, BOBTROSSET, and I will announce what I think is the craftiest, most creative answer for how the Jays can get back into this game. 1-0 in favor of York here in the second half. And at the top of your screen, here come the Jays. And now a missed kick there off the foot of R.J. Moore. And the throw-in's going to be handled by the Spartans. Well, for the Jays, they're trying to go 5-0 on what's been a roaring start to the season. And when Brian C. allowed that goal earlier on, as this one's fired in, Connor Jacobs fires it in, and we're tied here in the 49th minute. So what a start to the second half for the Jays as Connor Jacobs, as you take a look here, he was wheeling off to his left, cuts across and just found a window and buried it. And we're all tied up at 1 here at Homewood Field. And now Zion Friday down there in front is going to get called for an offsides. And in favor of the Jays, Brian C. will take care of this one. Connor Jacobs, the 5'9" sophomore from Knoxville, Tennessee, just buried that one for the Jays. And it's funny, we were just talking about it with Coach Vanzella. One thing they needed to do better, Hopkins did in that first half, was spacing, especially from the attacking mids. And Connor Jacobs did just that. And Coach Vanzella is awfully pumped up here on the sideline. And now we have ourselves a game. A nice play there by Jonah. He's going to dump it on off now to R.J. Moore, but a better play defensively there. Back and forth we go here. For the second, Ethan Lloyd had it, but now back on the Jays. McLean now working with it. Nice, nifty footwork. Off to R.J. Moore, and now R.J. gets picked up nicely by Joel Teston. And now Zion Friday battling it out with Mike Suarez. Last touch by the Spartans. Free kick by Suarez. And here they come. Here comes Yonker now. And a beautiful effort there. And it's going to be last touch by Bridgham. Bridgham left the net. And now here comes the Hopkins corner. We're working quickly. You take a look at the replay there. Yonker got a right foot on it, but smartly deflected, I should say. And here comes the corner kick. And a diving stop on his knees by Billy Bridgham, saving that one. And the Jays have come out firing here in the second half. Here come the Spartans with a touch pass, and Zion gets called for another offsides, and this time he fires it out of bounds in frustration. So a couple offside calls here tonight, and Zion has not been able to get much going since that goal all the way back in the 12th minute. Here we are approaching the 53rd minute. We're all tied up thanks to a early second half goal by Connor Jacobs. And now an offsides call there on Jonathan Brown. The crowd didn't like that one. He had a good run going, but will not be rewarded for it. 13 shots on goal for the Jays. Just 3 for York. And they all came in that first half. So the Jays have come out guns a-blazing, and now we'll have a foul going towards the Jays as you take another look at the replay there. A nice capture by our video team. A foul there going the other way for the Jays. 1-1, York, Johns Hopkins here at Homewood Field. Bob Trossett with you on HopTV. We'll get you an update in a few moments as to how the women's soccer team is faring at TCNJ. And now here come the streaking Jays. R.J. Moore off to Muniz. And now Jonathan Brown buries it. Off the assist from Muniz, the Jays go up 2-1 here at Homewood Field. Are you not entertained yet in this second half? Goals from Jonathan Brown just a few seconds ago, and a few minutes ago, Connor Jacobs, and the Jays go up 2-1.
Johns Hopkins goal scored by number 15, Jonathan Brown. Assisted by number 4, Jonah Jimenez. Time of the goal, 54 minutes, 2 seconds.
So in the 54th minute, the Jays have come scorching back to take a 2-1 lead. And what a start. That was their 14th shot on goal. As you take another look at the replay here, a beautiful assist by Yonker and better footwork and balance, and he buried it. Jonathan Brown with an emphatic start to this second half. And now spacing the field are the Jays. Mike Suarez now here on the bottom of your screen. Swings it on off to R.J. Moore, who just got that play started just a few moments ago. And now Muniz with a touch pass over to Jonathan Brown. And that's a 50-50 ball up in the air. Coming down with it is McLean. Well, we got a couple Twitter mentions coming in here tonight. And I guess I have to come up with a new question now because my first half question is pretty much irrelevant at this point. And if you're just tuning in, that was, how can the Blue Jays get back into this game? Well, they have done that and then some. And now Yonker with a breakaway, no offsides call. And Bridgham captures that and saves what could have been a dangerous, dangerous play if you're a Spartans fan. So Bridgham's going to fire this one on down the field. Well, coming in my Twitter mentions, first was Kaylee Elizabeth. She says, "Go Spartans." Oh, Kaylee, your Spartans down here early in the second half, but I'm sure they have it in them to keep it competitive here. They need to get some more opportunities on offense. They've gone a little quiet, only 3 shots on goal. And then, of course, the next message looks like Bria Burciaga, must be Chase's sister, watching all the way from Texas. Well, thanks for tuning in, Burciaga family. And that one's going to sneak out of bounds. Last touch by the Spartans as we approach the 57th minute. And now Muniz was looking for Yonker there. And now Jonah's going to left foot that one right into the path of the Spartans, and here they come. And now getting a foot on that was Mike Suarez, and leaving the box is Brian C. And now he's going to find Cole Rosenberger on the top of your screen. You take a look at the numbers there on Brian C. We told you some of the career stats for the senior. 17 career shutouts. That leads the Centennial Conference. And 162 saves coming into tonight. And that was good for second in the conference. So quite a career from Brian C. in the net for Coach Appleby. Of course, born in Malaysia. What a great story Brian is. And a great defensive stop there by Mike. Suarez now spreads the field to Rosenberger. And Rosenberger's going to enter this one in, but getting ahead on it there is Tony Mosquera. So another corner opportunity from the Jays, and they can keep their momentum going. R.J. Moore is going to handle this one, and he elects to do a short little 1-2 punch. And now Drew Collins finds it, and he's going to enter this one in far and wide off the left foot. Substitution incoming for the Spartans. That's Danny Morgan, 5'8" freshman from Lumberton, New Jersey.
Now in for York, number 12, Danny Morgan.
Now working with it is Jonah Muniz. Dumps it off to Drew Collins, who's going to spread the field to Cole Rosenberger. Here come the Jays with Yonker, but a nice defensive play there from Mark Murgo. But the Jays really dominating offensively here to start off the second half. Much of this half has been spent on the offensive side of the field for the Jays. And now here come the Spartans, just as I say that. Danny Morgan spreading the field for the Spartans. Down there mixing it up is Oscar Rodriguez at the top of your screen, and this one's fired in, but getting a head on it there was the Jays. Looked like it was Chase Burciaga there. Chase is from Flower Mound, Texas. Played his high school soccer at Dallas Jesuit. Of course, anchors this Hopkins defense. Just a freshman. And now here comes Jonathan Brown, who just scored a few moments ago. Nowhere to go, and not a lot of help. And Chris Hobbs fires that one out of harm's way. R.J. Moore now finds Yonker, and Yonker finds the back of the net. A beautiful pass from R.J. Moore, and the Jays take a 3-1 lead. Well, for Yonker, before that goal, he was the conference leader in points, so he adds to that total as you take a look at that beautiful pass there from R.J. Moore in stride, and Yonker buries it past Bridgham. And for the Jays, what a start to the second half. 3 unanswered goals, and they now have a 2-goal comfortable lead, and all the momentum has shifted here at Homewood Field.
Johns Hopkins goal scored by number 7, Akel Yonker. Assisted by number 23, R.J. Moore.
And now here come the Jays again, and it's a goal fest here. This time from number 8, Garrett Church. And you take a look at the replay there, just a strike up in the top right-hand corner. Man, oh man, Garrett Church and the Jays are putting on a clinic here at Homewood Field. What a change of storylines here in the second half.
Hopkins goal scored by number 8, Garrett Church. Assisted by number 4, Jonah Muniz. Time to goal, 61 minutes, 3 seconds.
So in the first 15 minutes and change, the Johns Hopkins men's soccer team have scored 3 goals. And this one is a dive and a stop from Brian C. and an incoming corner kick for the Spartans. So the Spartans can really get aggressive here now in the 61st minute. Now being down 3 goals after coming into the second half leading 1-0. And a handball there from Jonathan Brown. So a free kick now for the Spartans. And now Brian C. is going to handle this one. And the Jays can really take their time now with a 3-goal cushion. And Brian C. is going to use the field here, finds Chase Burciaga. Now Chase is going to spread it on down to Cole. .63 minute here. The Jays are up 4-1. Looking for their 5th consecutive win to open up the 2017 campaign. And now Mike Suarez leaks that one on down, and now here comes Zion. Well, we have to go all the way back to the 12th minute when the Spartans got on board first on an absolute strike from Zion Friday. And now here comes an array of substitutions for the Spartans.
Now in for Johns Hopkins, number 14, Sebastian Salate.
Sebastian Salate coming in for the Jays. John Wiest for the Spartans. Keith Witherall. Malcolm Jeeke as well.
And number 29, Daniel Drisick.
And Daniel Jurasek as well for the Spartans. So Coach Jeffy unloading. And if I count this correctly, there are 8 Johns Hopkins Blue Jays warming up on the sidelines right now. So it looks like Coach Appleby is ready to unload on his lineup. And now here comes Muniz. Dumps it off. A nice defensive stop there for the Spartans. And now leaking this one out of harm's way is Mark Murgo, but Cole Rosenberger keeps it down on the other side. Back and forth they go. Well, Ben Bay is still being iced and taken care of and tended to on the sidelines. So we'll try and get you an update on Ben, but it looks like his night is done for the evening as Mike Suarez comes up and sneaks this one out of Keith Witherall's way. And now looks like Keith's going to get called for a foul there. Back the other way we go. Keith very physical, only 5'5", and I said it in the first half, but Keith has 7 siblings, and they're all adopted. So really incredible story from Keith Witherall, the transfer from VCU. He's really excited to be here as you take a look at that replay right there. You saw that clearly a little bit of a foul there. Too much physicality. 65th minute here at Homewood Field. Bob Trossett with you on HopTV. The Jays in search of their 5th consecutive victory to start off the 2017 season. They have 17. You heard that right. 17 shots on goal for the Jays. Just 4 for the Spartans. And the Spartans really got things started early, and you really thought if you tuned in earlier on in the first half that this game was going to turn out a lot differently. But here they are, the Jays up 4-1 thanks to goals from Jacobs, Brown, Yonker, and Church. And a couple coming just in the last few minutes. And a couple statistics compiled by Ernie LaRosa, a couple very interesting statistics. Tonight is the most goals versus York since a 5-0 win back in 1997. So some history being made here at Homewood. And also, as Yonker looks to sneak this one ahead, just up ahead of Garrett Church. And Billy will take care of that. It is also the fastest consecutive goals, and when I say the fastest consecutive goals, I mean the last two previous goals, by two different Johns Hopkins players in one game since 1994, and that was 16 seconds apart from each other. So the Jays are going for the history books tonight. Great stats there by Ernie LaRosa. And just an incredible performance here in the second half. And there's still a lot of time left in this one, too. So still more to be done. But it looks like Coach Appleby is ready to allow his bench to get quite a few minutes here in the second half, which is great for the guys. And we're in the 68th minute, 4-1 in favor of the Jays. And now Cole Rosenberger over to Suarez. This ball is launched all the way down to Yonker, who's still playing hard despite the score. And now a foul is going to be called on the Spark. Excuse me, that's actually on Akim Yonker. I thought that was going the other way at first glance. And this one snuck on down to Cole Rosenberger, who gets a head on it. And that's going to be last touched by the Jays. Substitutions incoming for both teams. For the Jays, it's Liam Moylan. And for the Spartans, it's number 21, Barack Amage.
Number 21, Barack Amage. Now in for Johns Hopkins, number 18, Liam Moylan.
Liam, the 6-foot sophomore from Long Valley, New Jersey, played his soccer at West Morris Central. And that one is snuck out of harm's way by the Jays. And now, nice recovery there by Chu. That was Malcolm Jeeke shaking it up down there, the 6'2 sophomore from North Bethesda. And getting a head on it was Chase. And Brian C. comes down with it. Under 20 minutes left in this game. 4-1 in favor of the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays. Goals have been scored by Connor Jacobs, Jonathan Brown, Akim Yonker, and Garrett Church. And for the Jays, all 4 goals have been scored in the second half. We approach the 71st minute here at Homewood Field. We'll get you an update as soon as it comes in from women's soccer at TCNJ, taking on the number 5th team in the country. And now taking the throw in for the Spartans is Kenny Christ. Now chasing this down is Jordan Evans. First time we mentioned Jordan's name tonight. 6-foot sophomore from Hanover, Maryland. Played his high school soccer at Howard. And that one's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by the Spartans. Brian C. calling for it for the Jays. Well, I think it's approaching that time of the game, so bear with me if you think it's too early. But if you're listening or watching the game wherever you are, hop on Twitter and let me know who you think deserves tonight's MVP of the game. And you can follow me or tweet at me at Bob Trossett, BOBTROSSET. There's a lot of candidates for the Jays as to who the MVP could be. Goals have been scored by Connor Jacobs, Jonathan Brown, Akim Yonker, and Garrett Church. So let me know who you think is tonight's MVP and where you're watching it from. As that corner kick gets away from the Spartans and now leaked on down the field and way out of the box is Billy. And now Bridgam working with it. Approaching the 73rd minute. And now coming down, and this is Witherell. Last touch by the Jays. Beautiful diving stop there from Brian C. off to his left. Corrals that and sucks it up for the Jays. And now fires this one on down the field. As you take a look at the replay here off of Keith Witherall's left foot. Nice save there from Brian C. Adding to his conference leading numbers. A few baseball scores for you in the MLB. Athletics up on the Red Sox through 5, 6-2. Early on in this one, Cubs lead the Mets 2-1 at the end of the first. Pirates up early on the Brewers 1-0. And the two games that are already in the books, Yankees took down the Rays 3-2. That game was actually played at Citi Field due to the hurricane. And the Indians beat the Tigers for their 21st consecutive win, and that broke an all-time record, I believe. And they beat the Moneyball A's. Well, what a unbelievable season for the Indians. Obviously reaching the World Series just a year ago. Weren't able to sneak past the Chicago Cubs, but they seem primed and ready to do it all over again this fall. Here come the Jays. They're not done. 4-1 here in the 74th minute. As this one sneaking up and ahead of Sebastian Salate. And getting ready to come into this game for the Jays is Liam Creedon. 5'8" freshman from Doylestown, PA. Mike Suarez comes in and steals that one. Well, looking ahead for the Jays.
Now in for Johns Hopkins, number 10, Max Song, and number 19, Liam Creedon.
As Max Song enters this game along with Liam Creedon for the Jays. Looking ahead for the Jays, assuming that they'll get tonight their 5th consecutive win to start the season. They will host Haverford right here on Saturday. And then Newman 1 week from tonight. After that, they'll go on the road for a few days to Gettysburg and Washington College. And then all of a sudden, it's going to be September 30th, and they'll host Muhlenberg for the final game of the month. A few substitutions incoming for the Spartans. Pat Harkinson, Dan Bechtel, and Sam Johnson all into the game for the Spartans.
Number 16, Dan Bechtel, and number 18, Sam Johnson. Now in for Johns Hopkins, number 13, Brent Thomas.
Brent Thomas also into the game for the Jays. First time we've mentioned Brent's name here this evening, the 5'9" sophomore from Far Hills, New Jersey. Played his high school soccer at Ridge. We're in the 76th minute here at Homewood Field. Bob Trossett with you on HopTV. The Jays lead the Spartans by a score of 4-1. They have 17 shots on goal. All it's taken is 2 saves in the net for Brian C. And the story of the game has just been offensively and momentum shifting for the Jays. They started the second half down 1-0. And since then, Connor Jacobs, Jonathan Brown, Akim Yonker, and Garrett Church all found the back of the net for the Jays. It's been quite an offensive half, and one that really started from the opening minutes. So September 30th, the Jays will end the month taking on Muhlenberg at 1 o'clock. And then they'll open up October right here at home versus Stevenson. And then 3 in a row on the road at Messiah, at Swarthmore, at Franklin and Marshall. They will then host McDaniel on the 18th. They'll travel to Ursinus on the 21st. And end the month on the 27th hosting Dickinson. And then all of a sudden, it's time for the Centennial Conference Championship Tournament. So, just 12 minutes away from picking up its 5th consecutive victory to start out the year are the Jays. And a beautiful save there from Brian C. He got a hand on it and somehow found a way to stop the momentum that came flying off that ball. How about this replay right here? Brian C. was way outside the box, and this thing was rifled off the left foot of a Spartans player, and just a beautiful stop. You take a look at the replay here. A great shot and capture that by our video team. He got his right hand on it the very last second, and just a beautiful stop by Brian C. Well, we have our first nomination for MVP that just came in a few moments ago. It's from @my2shades_of_blue. And they say the MVP of the game is R.J. Moore for his setup and assists of the goals. I could not agree more. R.J. has had a great game facilitating a few of those goals for the Jays and really has gotten it done fundamentally for the Jays tonight. So thanks for that. @my2shades_of_blue. And again, if you want to put in your nominee for tonight's MVP, you can tweet at me @BobTrossett. And we're going to take a look at a replay here momentarily. You take a look at the goal right there. First from Akim Yonker. That was all the way back in the second half. We're still in the second half. It seems like a long time ago because there's been so many goals. And that one misses everybody. Cole Rosenberger tried to get up there and get that one. Under 10 minutes now, and the Jays can smell victory. As a physical play down there on the top of your screen is going to be in favor of the Jays, that whistle. But as I was saying, get your nominees in for tonight's MVP of the game. You can tweet at me @BobTrossett. And now Suarez with it at the bottom of the screen. Nice defensive stop there from the Spartans. That was number 27, Kenny Christ, 5'8" freshman from Finksburg, Maryland. And now a goalie substitution. This time it's for the Jays. So Brian C's night comes to an end. Solid night, just 3 saves. He allowed that goal way back in the 12th minute. So a great night from Brian C. And he gets dapped up there by number 21, Barack Amage, on the way off. But coming into the game for the Jays and getting some reps here is Xander Lefevre. Xander, the 5'11" freshman from Glenwood, Maryland. And now here comes a ball that's running away from Liam Moylan. It's going to be up and fired out of bounds. Last touched by the Spartans, and taking this throw-in is Brent Thomas. Great header there by the Spartans. That was number 13, Pat Harkinson. And now Xander is going to get his first action here tonight. Fires that one on down, intended. And it found right at the head of Kenny Christ. Now a dangerous play there by Billy. He keeps it intact for the Spartans. In the 82nd minute, we have a minute going away in favor of the Spartans. And now some chippiness here to end the game. Couple tough plays there, physical plays. You take another look at the replay right there. That'll result in a yellow card for the Jays. Looked like it was called on number 18, Liam Moylan, the freshman. And here comes the free kick now. Trying to figure out where he should place it. This is Brooke Adisu. 6'1" sophomore is going to enter this one in. And a nice right foot kick there. We're in the 83rd minute now at Homewood Field. Bob Trossett with you on HopTV. Jays up in front 4-1 on what's been an incredible offensive half for the Jays. A couple substitutions incoming for the Spartans. Aiden Wisely along with Kyle Hennigan. Hennigan, 5'11" freshman from York, PA. Aiden, a freshman as well, from Scotland. Cool story there. And now this one is fired on down to the midfield, and coming up on it for the Jays in a nice move, quick move there from Sebastian Salate. And now Salate gets pushed out of bounds. He continues to keep it in. And physical play down there on the near side. You take another look at the replay. Both guys going at it hard. Salate going to get called for that foul. So free kick opportunity. And taking it is Bridgham. Last few minutes here at Homewood Field. The Jays just under 6 minutes away from picking up their 5th consecutive victory in the 2017 season. And we have another substitution incoming for the Jays. This time it's Julito Quintana.
Now in for Johns Hopkins, number 21, Julito Quintana.
6-foot freshman from Riverside, Connecticut. Played his high school soccer at Fairfield Prep. Big athletic school, breeds a lot of athletes year in and year out. And Julito is clearly one of them. And that one's going to be up and fired out of bounds. Here in the 85th minute, another substitution incoming for the Jays is Nate Sherendorf. 6'2" freshman from East Hanover, New Jersey. Played his high school soccer at the Newark Academy. Cole Rosenberger, a job well done here tonight for the captain. Cole's going to take a seat. More activity on my Twitter timeline now, and I apologize in advance, Mr. Wurs, if I mispronounce your name. I think it's Darian or Darian. Hopefully I didn't screw that up too much. There's a shout out for you. Thanks for tuning in tonight on HopTV. Be sure to check us out on the weekend as well, as the Jays gets set to take on Haverford at 7 o'clock on Saturday. And they'll look for win number 6, assuming nothing crazy goes on here in the next 3 minutes and change. And boy, would the Spartans need a miracle to escape Homewood with a win right now. They really dominated the first half, and things started off with a goal off the right foot of Zion Friday, and he rifled it past Brian C. What a start to the game that was. And then it was a pretty quiet rest of the first half. The Jays had a few opportunities on offense. But going to the break, the Spartans led 1-0, and something changed. I talked to Coach Vanzella at half. He said that the mid-strikers and the mid-attackmen needed to be more aggressive on offense. They needed to space out more. They needed to be more decisive with their balls. And boy, did they show up in this second half with 4 unanswered goals as of right now. And we're in the 87th minute. Goals have come from first Connor Jacobs, then on to Jonathan Brown, Akim Yonker, and Garrett Church. And several of those were set up by R.J. Moore. And he right now is the only nominee that I've received on Twitter for MVP. So as of right now, R.J. Moore is the MVP for tonight. A couple substitutions coming in for the Jays. Zach Epstein, along with Matthew McFarquhar. And Liam Moylan's going to take a seat for the Jays. All the guys getting a good sweat on here tonight. The humidity is really quite a factor here. It's supposed to be a really nice weekend ahead. So we're in the 88th minute now, and the Jays just 2 minutes from staring down their 5th consecutive win. And everybody getting involved now as Coach Appleby has really gotten a lot of guys into this game.
Rhodes at 5 o'clock on Friday, volleyball against St. Mary's at 7, football against Moravian at noon.
So as producer Matt Lawrence goes, and there are quite a few events upcoming here at Johns Hopkins Athletics this weekend. Field hockey will take on Rhodes at 5 p.m. Women's volleyball will take on St. Mary's, and both of those games will occur on Friday. Then Saturday, this is the real slate of games. Football at 12 will take on Moravia. Field hockey at 4 will take on Bryn Mawr. Men's soccer at 7, I'll have the call for that one, will take on Haverford. And then volleyball will take on Bryn Mawr and Goucher are the neutral site game right here at Johns Hopkins. And then, of course, on Sunday, I'll have the call for women's soccer who will take on Bryn Mawr. Kick off at 2 p.m. So quite a busy weekend here at Johns Hopkins. Got to keep Matt Lawrence busy, though, for sure, and he will stay busy here at Homewood Field and all over the campus of Johns Hopkins University. But just a few seconds left before the Jays wrap up their 5th consecutive win. The boys love it. They're on their feet, and they know how big this one was. They learned a lot about each other here tonight and a lot about just how deep this team can go. So, the final score here tonight, as you see, the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays roll on to a 4-1 victory here at Homewood Field. They take down the visiting York College Spartans in what was an offensive nightmare for the Spartans in this second half. The Jays came rolling out. Goals were scored from Connor Jacobs, Jonathan Brown, Akim Yonker, and Garrett Church. And, of course, Brian C. held things down in the net for the Jays. For everybody up here in the booth, Matt Lawrence along with my video team, I'm Bob Trossett saying good night from Homewood Field. Your final score, the Blue Jays 4 and the York Spartans 1. Good night, everybody.